bit more skeptical about who is providing that information to us and to what end.
Here's the thing. You need to be skeptical about anything that you hear on TikTok, anything that you read on the internet, anything that you encounter in daily life. Default equals skepticism. And I feel like that sounds so like negative or pessimistic, but I also like, in my opinion, like it's just necessary. Even if the person telling you this like research or fact or statistic is someone that you like really admire and really trust, I would still be skeptical. Whenever any type of information is shared with you, you deserve to know the full context of that information. The full context is what allows you to determine if you think this is true or not, if you think this is credible or not, if you think this is relevant to you or your situation or not. So if you don't have that information and someone isn't giving you that information when they're giving you this like little buzzy, fun, shocking, whatever, stacked fact research, be skeptical. What do you need to know in order to assess a fact or stat or research? You need to know who the data was collected on. So details about the sample, and that's not just number of people, like it came from 1,000 people. Great. You need to know the details about those people. How old were they? Where do they live? What's their race or gender or profession? Like whatever could be relevant for you interpreting whatever the person just shared, you deserve to know that information, like the behind the scenes of the fact. Let's say you find out that this data comes from 1,000 freshman boys at Harvard. If you're in your mid-30s like me, you might be like, yeah, okay, that's interesting, but what does that have to do with me? I'm not a freshman boy at Harvard. Like, that's just an example, but like things like this happen all the time. You need to know when data came from. People report things like it happened yesterday or in the past 5 years, and sometimes it happened 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years ago. That's important context. Where geographically data came from is really important. America is really different than Scotland, for instance. Chicago, where I live right now, is really different from Charleston, where I moved from. Geography is important context for understanding a fact. To me, bare minimum, if you don't know details of the people, if you don't know the year, and if you don't know the geography, red flag. No matter how brilliant or amazing or lovely the person sharing the stat is, you need to know those things. So be skeptical. Ask questions. If people can't answer them or don't want to answer them,